Hi, I'm Katie.
I'm Sean.
I'm from Denton, and he's from Longview, and we came to Volta Dance for our dance lessons for our wedding. Sean was initially the one that wanted to do dance lessons. I was concerned because, planning a wedding is very expensive, and he had a very strict budget, and I was worried about coming up with the money for it. But this has by far probably been our best investment for the wedding. Top 3, at least. Yeah.
I mean, we were worried about fitting 10 lessons in like 2 months, just with the scheduling difficulties
Our jobs.
and our
We
jobs
both work
and
crazy hours.
and fitting into our budget. But I mean, by the end of it, this was money well spent, time well spent. This was probably the best part of our wedding planning process.
Absolutely.
Like, no matter what was going on and stress from, is this gonna get done? Is this gonna ship in time? Are we gonna be able to pay for this? Like, all of that, all the stresses of planning a wedding. And then we came in here and we were to leave it at the door and just dance and have fun together and have a little date, every once or twice a week, and just finally breathe for the first time all week.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was fun and really had helped us connect, and probably helped a lot of other stresses outside, just being able to just kind of dance those away.
We grew closer during the process too. I mean, coming in for the dance lessons and being that close in proximity to each other for an hour at a time, it was great. And honestly, Don made a huge difference with the seamlessness of everything. He's been an amazing instructor. So we're very grateful to him and the rest of the team.
Like Katie said, Don just made it so easy. He made it fun, and we never felt down on ourselves or not confident. He was so encouraging and put things in a way where we could easily understand.
And you listened to what we wanted. It wasn't just, I think you need to do this. It was, okay, well, what are you guys thinking about this? And we kind of told him what we wanted. We didn't just want the regular steps. We wanted to incorporate lifts and spins and this and all these fancy maneuvers, and he was able to seamlessly put that in, which I think goes to show not only what a good teacher he is, but how incredibly intelligent he is with putting together the framework for the dance itself, to fit in with our specific music.
Yeah. I chose this place because Dawn asked me questions about, well, why are you dancing? What are you looking to get out of this? What are you looking to get out of this with your partner? What emotions does this, the thought of dancing evoke? And
what's it going to look like when you're struggling versus when you're comfortable?
Yeah,
and how do I know that you're enjoying this and you're getting something out of this?
And it wasn't just, every other studio I talked to was, yeah, we can get you up with one of our instructors, and here's the price and blah blah blah, and that's it. It was signing up for a dentist appointment. Here, I really had a feeling before we even started that it was going to be a more emotions based, really connecting with each other, and the dance was almost secondary. The us having a good wedding memory and having a good connection for our wedding kind of took first place, and then the dance just came along with it.
Well, not only that, but we dragged our young kids here every dance lesson, and it was never an issue. He was so patient with them and them interrupting, and there was always a spot for them to come sit and do what they needed to do while we did our dance.
He was more patient than I was. And that's how it really, what I expected in the beginning is how it turned out. Of course we had a connection because we're getting married, but it felt like just in this past few months, our connection really, really deepened. And it wasn't because of the decorations that we picked out. It wasn't because of the food that we picked out. It wasn't because of our venue. It was because...
It may have been because of the champagne.
But it was because, I really do believe it's because of the time we spent here, and it really almost helped us communicate non-verbally way better.
Yeah, you're definitely really good at reading my cues, even more so than you were before. And I can definitely tell the same with you, I think.
It was almost like therapy.
So, for example, at home, I can now tell just from the way you're posturing and everything when you're more relaxed, when you're more stressed, and I can usually pick it up immediately when it happens. So I can tell what's stressing you out, whether it's the dogs, whether it's the kids, whether it's something from work, or, you know, whatever.
And I feel like we care more too. Like before it was like, I mean, I cared when you were stressed, I cared when you were upset, but it was like, I just wanted to fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just wanted to make you not upset. And now I feel like even in our life that we're dancing in a way that, like, you know, when you're upset, I'm upset. When you're frustrated, I'm frustrated. Like, it, you know, we're moving in more connection and unison and in sync. And I'm understanding you more without even talking to you. Like, if something happens, I immediately know that you're going to be upset about it, or that you're going to be happy about it, or whatever. Like, I feel like I know you more. I know you're like what goes on up here more, and yeah, like.
What are some of the elements or things that you've experienced from dance that allowed you to be able to make those distinctions?
Body language.
Mm-hmm.
The body language you have during dance, the way you hold yourself, the way you'll get to know your partner and feel their points of stress because you're literally holding onto their frame while you are dancing. So when they're not in tune with what you're doing, it makes the dance really off. So then by default, you know they're normal. So then you're able to see when something is abnormal for them.
And I feel like when you're dancing, it's, you know, no matter where your arms or legs or torsos or anything are, you know, your hearts are connected. And when you misstep or when you do something wrong in the dance and, you know, your partner does the right thing, or when you're not in sync, you kind of feel that break. You know, you feel that almost like a sixth sense. Like you kind of feel that.
Where are they?
Yeah,
what are
that
they
connection
doing?
like gets temporarily broken, and then you like link back up, and then it's like, okay, now we're back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost been like that outside of that too, or outside of the studio, where like when I'm good but you're not, you know, I can feel that just like a sixth sense, like that tie is a little strained. Don was saying that you know, a lot of people come in and they think that, oh well, we learn to dance and then we connect through that, but it's the opposite that happens. It's you connect and then you learn to dance. The dance comes more naturally. Like our first lesson was just connecting.
Yeah.
Like I remember that was our homework, was go home and work on your connection.
I thought it was
And-
go home and Katie stop bleeding.
Yeah, but it was, you know, and overall it was learn how to lead each other, learn how to follow, like work on your connection, work on your, you know, how you stand, how you walk, how you do this and that.
Yep.
And it wasn't even like, here's our step. It was, we didn't learn any steps our first lesson.
We just learned basics.
We just learned basics,
steps, not
and
to
it
the
was-
waltz though, but
yeah.
just basic dance steps.
But it was all just connection.
Yeah, I mean, without getting that foundation down, without really learning your partner and learning how to follow, you're not going to know what they're trying to lead you into, whether it's a spin or a dip or anything else, because you're not listening to the cues that they are giving you with their body and their movements.
Mm-hmm.
Just talk to Don. He was great. He worked with us. He even, like, especially if it's like a money thing, we were able to put a deposit down and then pay the rest
Yeah,
later.
everything was very,
It wasn't something that we had to kill ourselves over. It was, and even though it is a cost, it is well worth it. It's an investment. It's an investment in your wedding, in your reception, and in your relationship, because you will get so much out of it.
well, and if you're not confident about doing it, just, you know, you don't know that you can do anything until you do it. So, you know, just take the plunge. If you have kids, you know, there's free childcare here. They can just watch you dance. It's no problem. You don't have to find a babysitter. I mean,
iPad and a table.
yeah, just turn on some YouTube and it's all good. But it's, I mean, if you want a date night, you know, I mean, I know nowadays that's what people lose the most in a relationship and in a marriage, is finding the time to have a date. I mean, this is a 1 hour all to yourselves, like you and the instructor. Like, something where we connected more in these lessons than we ever did in a conversation at a restaurant or anything.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I mean, this has been my favorite type of date that we've been on.